Hi, this is Warren Carr from Blind Android Users Podcast. For episode 108, App of the Week, I am demonstrating an app whose one of its developers we had on our podcast last week by the name of Sunil. Today, I'll be demonstrating the app, and that's the iStem app. For today's demonstration, I am using the Galaxy S21 running Android 12 and Samsung's TalkBack version 13.5. I am on my home screen and will now navigate to the iStem icon and get started.
iStem app.
Here is the iStem app. I'll double tap here to activate.
Opening iStem app. iStem app. Select theme screen. iStem. Heading. Out of pager.
The first thing we heard was the iStem heading, and prior to that I thought we heard about something talking about selection of theme, but I'll put my finger near the top.
iStem. Heading.
Putting my finger near the top, we heard iStem heading. Below that we've got
Choose a theme.
choose a theme. In other words, if you wanted a light background or however you want it, you have radio buttons below here to select the kind of theme that you would like. We've got
Radio button. Default theme. Selected.
we have default theme, and that's the one that's selected by default.
Radio button. White background with black text.
White background with black text, that is not selected.
Radio button. Black background with white text.
We got black background with white text.
Use default and continue. Button.
Then we have use default and continue.
Theme preview.
Below that, we have something that says theme preview. Tapping on that doesn't do anything. It's just like a placeholder there that has no use at this point. However, I think it's simply making reference to what is being selected. Let's now tap on.
Use default and continue. Button.
I'll tap use default and continue.
Welcome to About iStem.
We heard welcome, and then it says about iStem. I'll put my finger near the top and we'll go from here toward the bottom.
About iStem.
At the very top, we hear about iStem.
Skip tour. Button.
To the right of that, on the top right corner, we have the skip the tour. I'm going to run through the tour quickly so that you know what is coming up.
At iStem, our vision is to empower people with disabilities using technology, community and support services.
And below that, toward the bottom, we got
Get started. Button.
Get Started. I'll tap.
Quick OCR.
The first item or the first page of the tutorial that we come across is the Quick OCR.
Our Quick OCR service helps the blind or visually impaired convert hard copies of bills or papers to accessible formats easily.
And some more text.
Our AI guides you with the correct orientation to take better photos. This service extracts text from images without any formatting.
And next,
Step 2 of 7.
we could go to step 2 of 7.
Next. Button.
And we tap on next. Now, if you want to swipe from right to left to go to the next page, it's not going to do it. So you must tap on that next. Here we go.
Document accessibility.
The next tutorial is about the document accessibility. I'm putting my finger down.
Document accessibility service helps the blind or visually impaired convert a complex inaccessible document to accessible formats. We support tag tables, lists, headings, math expressions, and much more. Step 3 of 7.
This is now step 3. And we'll tap on next.
Next. Button. Captioning.
Now we are on to captioning. And again, here's the description.
Captioning service helps the deaf or hard of hearing get accurate captions on an audio or video. Step 4 of 7.
Step 4. Go next.
Next. Video OCR.
Now we are on to something important here, most especially sometimes you're on YouTube and you got some tutorial that has no voicing and you'll have to be able to read the text. This is where this will come in very handy. Let's hear the description.
Video OCR service helps the blind or visually impaired to access text content in videos such as a shared slide deck in a virtual lecture. RAI smartly detects text changes in videos. Step 5 of 7. Next button.
And let's tap on Next.
Learning resources.
The next item here is the learning resources. As I indicated last week when we had Sunil, they have some other items here besides just the OCR and all of that. So here's the description.
Our learning resources help everyone to upskill themselves with current accessibility trends and tutorials. We help you stay updated and learn more about career and growth opportunities. Step 6 of 7.
And the next step.
Next button. Personalization.
We now come to personalization.
You can personalize the iSTEM app as per your preferences from the Settings section under the Profile tab. Choose between different visual themes, change sound feedback, and more.
Okay.
Step 7 of 7.
Step 7 of 7, and below that,
Done button.
we have the Done button. I'll tab here to say I'm done.
iSTEM logo.
We hear iSTEM logo on the next page, and putting my finger down,
Create new account or log in to continue. Heading.
we have a heading that says to either create a new account or go ahead and log in. Below that, we've got
Sign up with email button.
you could sign up with your email address.
Sign up with Google button.
You could sign up with Google, or
Already have an account.
if you already have an account, then below that is the
Login button.
Login button. I already have an account, so I'll tap here to log in.
Logins, user@email.com, edit box.
Now we're on an edit field for me to type in my email address, and I hope that my autofill works this time right. And I'll tap here.
User@email.com.
And
Showing English, US, QWERTY keyboard. Showing Gboard.
it sure pops up my autofill.
iSTEM app. Warcare at Gmail.
iSTEM app. I
Warcare
tap
at
there.
gmail.com.
And
Edit
now
password.
I'm going to tap on login.
Login button. iSTEM logo.
We are now on this page after logging in, and the first thing we heard is iSTEM logo. Below that, we've got
Docs services. Heading.
Doc Services, and that's the heading. And below that,
Document accessibility. Heading.
we have the Document Accessibility heading, and going down,
Convert new document button.
Convert New Document. In other words, you could choose a document to be converted. Below that, we've got
Document accessibility request history button.
Document Accessibility Request History. That is, if you've uploaded some documents that you wanted made accessible, you could tap here to see the history of such documents that you've made requests for. Next.
Document accessibility how it works button.
And we have the how it works. If you tap here, it will take you through a tutorial on how that works. Next.
Quick OCR heading.
We now come across a heading that says Quick OCR, and below that we've got
Camera button.
the camera button, meaning if we tap here, then we will be involved in capturing a document. Below that we've got
Gallery button.
Gallery. In other words, if you have some images in your gallery and you wanted to convert them into an accessible document or want them recognized, then you will tap here and go choose such a document. Below that, we've got
Quick OCR request history button.
Quick OCR request history, meaning if you tap here, you could see the history of the documents that you've sent up there for OCR. And below that,
Quick OCR how it works button.
the How It Works tutorial of the OCR package. That was the last item, but then at the bottom, we've got some 4 tabs. Starting from the bottom left, we've got
Tab. Docs selected.
we've got the docs document, and to the right of that,
tab, media,
media, all those media requests that you've made will be under this tab. The next tab to the right,
tab, resources,
we got resources, and like I mentioned last week, they have other tutorials and all of that. Tapping on this will take you to where you could access those tutorials and other helpful links and things like that. The last item here will be the Profile tab,
tab, profile,
and that also contains the settings. Let's go ahead and tap here and quickly go into this one because probably this is one of those important areas, and I'll tap here to go through.
Profile, selected.
Tapping on Profile, I'm going to go through the items that I've found here, and moving my finger down, here are the items that we encounter in the Profile tab.
iStem logo.
We hear iStem logo, moving my finger down.
Profile, heading.
Profile heading.
War and car.
Keep going.
warcare@gmail.com. Credits, 2493.
And it tells me how many credits are left. It gives you 2,500 by default, and I have 2,493. That means I've used some 7. Below that,
Profile, button.
Profile button.
Other preferences, heading.
Then we have a heading that says Other Preferences. And going, we got
Change theme, button.
I could tap here to change my theme if I'm unhappy with the kind of theme that I currently have.
Notification preferences, button.
And how you want to be notified. Next.
About, heading.
The next heading here is the About, and moving my finger down.
Rate us, button.
You could tap here to rate them on the Play Store, and below that we got
Privacy policy, button.
Privacy policy. Keep going.
Terms and conditions, button.
Terms and conditions is next, and
Support, button.
Support.
What's new in installed update, button.
What's new in the installed update. You could tap here to see what's new, and
Log out, button.
we have the logout or
App version, V1, 1.0.
Now that we're done, I'm going to tap on the Docs tab, and that's the first one at the bottom left.
Tab, Docs. Docs, selected.
And now let's go ahead now and navigate our way to the OCR and tap on that Camera button.
Quick OCR, camera, button.
Here is that camera. I'll tap on that.
Select back, button.
Tapping on that, we've started hearing it saying select the mode, and then we heard back, which is at the top left corner. Moving my finger to the right, we have the select mode.
Select mode, heading.
We got a couple modes. The first one we got is
Guided capture, beta, button.
the guided capture, which means it will give you guidance as you try to take the picture. And remember, this is still in beta, so it may be a little bit frustrating. The next one below that is
Manual capture, button.
the manual capture. I will now show you both methods and see which one works better for you. I'll move my finger to the top and tap on guided mode.
Guided capture, beta, button.
I'll tap here.
Permission request. Allow iStem app to take pictures and record video. Allow iStem app to take pictures and record video.
And I'm going to tell it to allow.
While using the app, button.
I'll choose while using the app. Tap here.
Camera initialized. iStem app. Back, button.
And it
Move
tells me
towards bottom.
camera's
Only bottom.
initialized.
Edge
Now I'm going to
visible.
point it.
All
I'm
edges
going to get
detected.
up and point
Hold
it
steady.
at my.
Move to top right. No edges found. No edges found. Only top. Edge visible. Only top. Edge visible. Only bottom. Edge visible. Taking snapshot. Preview image screen.
As you can tell, it takes a little while to get it going, and of course it's still in beta, and so that is expected. And near the top we hear
Preview image, heading.
Preview image heading. And now toward the very bottom, we've got a couple horizontal buttons. The first one is
Retake button.
retake if you're not happy with the result. And below that we have
Get results button.
get results. So if I tap here, it should give me the result of the captured document. I'll now tap.
Back button.
We heard that sound, and now I'm going to put my finger near the top of the screen.
Text results heading.
We hear text result heading, and moving my finger down.
For episode 108, I will be demonstrating STEM, an app, was our guest for episode 107.
And that was it. I can tell you, though, that there were a couple words that were missing, and the couple words missing there was the name of the developer or one of the developers, which is Sunil Chaudhary, and that got skipped. And it could be because I don't have the Indian TTS running, so that might be the reason why it skipped that word. And that's the guided mode. I'll now go back and let's try the second mode, which is the manual mode.
iSTEM logo.
Now let's go ahead and tap on the manual capture.
Manual capture button.
Here is manual capture.
Capture it back button.
Tapping on manual capture, I'm standing up now, so if you're not hearing my voice loud enough, it's because I'm standing up. And I'm going to put my finger to hear the instructions that we got after tapping on the manual capture.
Capture image heading. Take picture button.
We heard take picture button, and that's found toward the very bottom. I'll now point it onto the paper and tap and hope for the best.
Preview it back button.
I'm sitting down and we heard the sound of the camera shutter. Now I'll put my finger near the top.
Preview image heading.
We heard preview heading just like we heard when we used the guided mode. And now below here we have those two horizontal buttons again. The first one is that retake
button.
And the one below that is get results. I'll tap on the get results.
Get results button.
And I'll tap
back button.
And now putting my finger near the very top, I hear
text results screen. Text results heading.
I hear text result heading, and moving my finger down.
Hello and welcome to episode 108, App of the Week. For episode 108, I will be demonstrating STEM, an app whose one of its developers, Sunil Chaudhary, was our guest for episode 107.
This one actually read the name of the developer. Unlike in the guided mode, which is still in beta, it didn't. That will be the end of this quick overview of the iSTEM app. I hope that those of you who are students of sciences or math would find this app to be the one that serves your need. If you want to hear more about this app and what it does, make reference to our last week's episode, that's episode 107, when we had Sunil Chaudhary talking about the app. Again, thanks for listening.